Hey guys, it's Sanvi, the co-president of FAYE. Various FAYE members and I have created videos on classic pieces of literature. These are books that you may read in high school, middle school, or even university. They're books that have helped shape the world and the way that we think and read. In these videos, we'll be covering character arcs, the plot, themes, and topics that experts often debate about these books. We may even go into contextualizing the author's life to help you understand why a book covered the topics that it did. We'll teach you critical skills such as essay crafting and critical thinking. These skills will be really important in any future assignments you have on these books. I hope that these videos not only help you pass your class and your assignment, but they also help you cultivate a love for literature. Thank you, and have a lot of fun.
Hey guys, I'm Sonal from FAYE, and this is the second video for the Mouse book series. If this is your first video that you're watching, please go watch the first one to get a more general overview of the books, book 1 and book 2, and you can come back to this video 2, where we will delve into the details of the first book. So, book 1, My Father Bleeds History, is basically about the first part of Vladek's journey through the Holocaust. And if you go to the first page, you can see that this book will have 6 sections in it. And usually, within these sections, it is a new instance where Artie is interviewing his father. And one of the first things when you look through this book, you realize that Vladek thinks pretty highly of himself, at least in the way that he's describing himself to Artie. Vladek sees himself as a very resourceful guy, someone who is intelligent, and a man who is a heartthrob. He saw himself as a heartthrob because Anya, his wife, and also Artie's mother ended up being with him, but there's a lot of other women who are interested in being with him, like Lucia Greenburn. And another important thing that you realize is that Vladek likes to keep his personal life separate from the public or from being in a book. In the beginning of the book, when Artie was interested and proposed this idea of Vladek's journey, a book about Vladek's journey, he wasn't too keen on having his private relationship with Lucia and his private relationship with Anya in this book. But in the end, he ended up agreeing, and it's in the book that we see today. Also, Vladek saw Anya as marriage material compared to Lucia, so that's why he valued his relationship with Anya a lot more than he did with Lucia. And he was worried when Lucia sent him the letter, sent Anya the letter about the bad things that Vladek had done. So now in the beginning of chapter 2, we can see that Vladek is sick. He has a lot of health issues and he needs to take a lot of vitamins. So it can be inferred that this is because of the trauma and the struggle that he went through the Holocaust, which had a severe impact on his body and his health. But also you can see that in the beginning, it starts with some Nazi raids, and there is a lot more that goes on throughout the book, but it starts off in 1938, and it only gets worse from there. Another thing to note is that Anya has depression. She has a lot of mood swings, and she is always not scared, but she always is worried, and she probably has mental she has depression, basically. She's depressed. And this is a spoiler kind of if you haven't read the entire book. But Anya does commit suicide. And that's one of the reasons why Vladek and Artie's relationship is kind of rocky because the connection that they both shared with each other was through Anya. And since Anya died, they couldn't share that anymore. Also, one of the main reasons that Artie is visiting Vladek is because he wants to get information about his past to publish this book, Mouse. Um, and throughout the book, it can be seen that Vladek had a rough childhood with, Artie had a rough childhood with Vladek, because Vladek always considered himself great or very knowledgeable. And this upsetted Artie because he wasn't allowed to show his own personality. And you'll also realize that in the beginning, Vladek didn't support Artie's career choice of wanting to become an author, an artist, um, because Vladek struggled very hard. He was a businessman, and finding out that Artie, his son, is choosing an artistic career path after all that the struggle that he went through to give himself and his son a bright future, it's all going in that direction. He was pretty upset by that. And Vladek cares very deeply about the things that he has, objects, food, anything it might be. He likes to salvage everything. So he hates it when people waste food. Even when Artie's an adult, Vladek still makes or expects Artie to finish his food. So now fast forward throughout Mouse 1, Vladek is enlisted to the war. He's in a prisoners of war camp and he understands and knows the right way to get what he wants. He knows that he wants better treatment, so he goes to the labor camps. And really, what got Vladek through the Holocaust, what got him through the camps, the war, everything, was his perseverance and his willingness to succeed. Um, yeah. So now we will go and finish the rest of the series on part 3.